Coming up in this Brightline construction update, this update looks at the progress on the new stations in Boca Raton and Aventura. Boca Raton and Aventura will join the existing stations in West Palm Beach, Fort Lauderdale, and Miami, and Brightline's existing South Florida corridor as the first two infill stations to be added to the system. We'll start at the station site in Boca Raton, which is located downtown near Misner Park and the downtown library. Since my last update here in November 2021, ground has been broken and work is currently underway on the foundations. This big foundation is the base for the parking garage. It will house 455 parking spots, with 64 of them designated for patrons visiting the library next door. The first vertical work is also continuing on the station building itself. These are likely for elevators that will lead to a bridge over the tracks to a platform. Forms are also in place for other aspects of the station. Unlike all of Brightline's other stations that have a single island platform, this one will have two side platforms with room for through tracks in the middle. They will be connected by an overhead bridge. This design is likely due to some of the physical limitations of this location. The parking garage should start to rise vertically above this foundation soon. The garage will eventually top out at 4.5 stories tall. Here's a southbound Brightline train passing the station site. It was moving slow due to some maintenance work occurring to the south of this location. On the right here, the future platform is starting to take shape. Concrete blocks form the outer edge of the platform, which will then be filled in with dirt before the final top layer is poured in place. The platform will extend almost all the way to the 2nd Street crossing. Here's one final overview of the site. We'll now head to Aventura, where the station will be located across Biscayne Boulevard from the Aventura Mall. This station is farther along and will be the first of these 2 new stations to open later this year. The existing mainline tracks have been temporarily shifted west here to open up space for the island platform to be built. Work on this platform is just beginning due to the extra work to relocate the tracks having to occur first. And here is the station building. The main shell of the building is mostly complete now. The large flat rectangular portion will hold the passenger facilities, including the lounges, restrooms, and market space. The smaller, slightly elevated portion on the right will hold the ticketing areas and security. For a more detailed description of the station's layout, check out my last video on the station, which I've linked to in the video description. The tall raised section will hold elevators and escalators, which will take passengers to a future bridge across Dixie Highway and the tracks to the platform. While currently all closed up with blocks used to form the main structural beams in place, eventually large blocks of windows will be installed on all of these buildings to let natural light in, just like the other stations. The yellow boards are in some of those spaces for the time being. Here's a closer look at the raised section. Crews are currently finishing up the main portion of the structure before work shifts to the inside. The bridge will be built once the platform is farther along. The escalators will be in this center section. And here's the main entrance to the station. It has some of Brightline's signature V's around it, although unlike the other stations, this is the only spot they are being installed here. Here is one of Brightline's artist renderings from roughly the same point of view. And here's a view from the trackside. Some of these utility poles will have to be relocated to make way for the bridge over to the platform. We'll now move back to the tracks for a closer look at the platform. I'm flying south here. The station building is on the right and the Aventura Mall is on the left. Foundations for the platforms are starting to take shape. Brightline's platforms, including this one, are designed for 10-car trains in addition to 2 locomotives, which should future-proof them. The sides are starting to be formed here. And here's another flight south with a low pass over some of the rebar formed for the platform. Farther along, pilings are being installed. This is in the area where the pedestrian bridge will reach the platform, and structure that will house elevators and escalators will go. We'll finish with 2 Brightline trains that passed while I was flying. The first is a southbound train to Miami, which is about a 15-minute trip from here. And here's a northbound to Fort Lauderdale and West Palm Beach. It is also about a 15-minute trip to Fort Lauderdale. Station stops take about 2 minutes to complete, so adding these 2 new stations should have minimal effects on the schedules. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Also check out my social media pages.